Yo, come here, bookshelf the way when I see you, I'm not myself. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about Sega's future, Sonic's financials, and a lot more big stuff revealed. So this is going to be a chunky one. We're going to be going through a lot of sales numbers and data and all that. So I want y'all to sit down. I'm going to simplify for y'all. Of course, make sure to subscribe to your boy, like the video, and stick with me, y'all, because we're about to get to some crazy shit. So for those of you that don't know, this is the time of year where every company is having their financial reports. Nintendo just had theirs where they just announced the Switch 2 casually. You know, they're showing how their sales numbers are doing well. So every company is going through their W successes, sales, and everything. So this time we had Sega's, and there's a lot to go over. So just to start us off with Tails channel, you're telling us Sonic issued a total of 5.9 million unit sales during this fiscal year 2024. So 870K were moved in Q4. Steady performance overall. So this is during basically the entire fiscal year. So basically the last, I want to say, from March to last April, I want to say something around that. Yeah, I'm not fully alright about that, but it's around that. So 5 million units of Sonic stuff have been sold. Like a Dragon sold 5.3 million, which is kind of incredible. That's, you know, Yakuza's rebrand name. Total War at 1 million and Persona at 5 million. And they, you know, they're seeing record licensing revenue for the Sonic IP increasing more than 10 times over. So while I think it is a bit of a sales decline from last year that had 8 million, because obviously Sonic Frontiers is a big factor in sales. It came out at the end of the year before, so a lot of those copies, you know, how we're bleeding over as of now. It's just, you know, extra sales of the game, probably copies of Sonic Superstars or whatever they got on Steam and other services. Now, this is where we get into a lot more of the nerdy stuff. So this is deadass Sega's, you know, financial document that they had. I'm not going to go over every single document because there's a lot of stuff about pachinkas and stuff, but we're going to go over the highlights. So first of all, their sales overall increased due to steady performance of Japan and Asia CS and Rovio's entry in the group, but profit decreased mainly due to weak performance in CS in Europe. So performance in Europe is a little lower, but we're seeing a lot of sales increases from Japan, Asia, and also just in general, North America is typically Sega's biggest market nowadays, just because of how many people in the West love Sonic, they love Yakuza, they love Persona. Like it's getting big worldwide. In fact, they mention here, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth has a Metacritic score of 89, which is important to note. Persona 3 Reload has a Metacritic score of 87. 1 million units sold in the first week. Persona with the same thing, 1 million units in the first week after launch, the fastest ever for Atlas titles. So really happy about that. These games are selling well, very important. They've also got that game Unicorn Overlord, which like has blown up. It's like an incredible strategy game, which sold 500K in its first week as well. I think it's sold more at this rate. I think it's nearing 1 million. You got your football managers, etc., etc. All right, so let's go into this next part. So first of all, they're talking about the Sega brand, right? Source of their Sega brand. These are their extensive IPs. These are the ones they're highlighting. Sonic, Like a Dragon, Angry Birds, which is, it's just surreal to see that with the main gang now that they have Rovio. 2 Point Hospital, Football Manager, Total War, Persona 5. Jet said that they have on Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi. These are a lot of the games that they announced in the revival, right? It seems to be like they're segmented like this. Like these are like the small revival guys. These are, you know, the spin-off ones that make some money in the background. And then these are the big four over here. But these are not the big four. In fact, it is the big three, as a lot of the rap games we've been talking about lately. During the previous medium-term plan period, major pillars grew steadily, established a revenue-based sports Sega brand. So yeah, I think it's been pretty evident if you've been a fan of Sega for the past years. But yeah, the big three of Sega is Sonic, Persona, and Like a Dragon. You can see the sales just constantly going up for these Like a Dragon, you know, making its big climb. Obviously, it's a much smaller franchise, still getting into the 500K to 1 million K units. Sometimes maybe going a little up, but you're seeing Persona thriving. You're seeing Sonic thriving, not doing again as well as the previous year. But again, that was because Sonic Frontiers had come out with a mega boost. So this sales decrease is obviously a little evident. In fact, one of the biggest points that was announced from this that Midori has given to us is the fact that the current plan at Sega is to make Like a Dragon, Persona, and Sonic annual franchises through new titles, remakes, and remasters, DLC expansions, and other media. I think this is unannounced information, which that is a big deal. I mean, that is like an official confirmation that these franchises, these three, are going to be yearly. Now, I know a lot of people get scared, right? They think to themselves, oh, like, this is a lot. How are they going to keep up? But I think this is pretty feasible. I mean, if you've got remakes and remasters as one of your main pillars, it probably means you have B teams working, on remasters. Also, you can, put those into third-party companies to work on remasters while you focus on new games. And I think they're just going to be dropping titles left and right. It does not mean a new numbered Persona title is releasing on each year. Spin-offs are also counted. So they're factoring everything. Sonic has had spin-offs made by Sumo Digital. Obviously, we're getting Sonic X Shadow Gens as our first major 3D Sonic game remaster since Colors Ultimate, and I think they're going to be pumping out more of those. The quality Persona series should not change because multiple titles developed at the same time across multiple years. Current stage of Persona entered development in 2019. The current stage is P6, P3R, Persona 5 Tactics, and Persona 5X, which is the mobile game in Japan, I believe, or China. And this slide in the document, one of the important ones, because development capability to support revenue base possesses superior development capabilities to create content that attracts gamers around the world. And as you can see here, Metacritic matters to Sega, like a great deal. They really are looking at the Metacritic scores, which makes me think they really want these to go up. Establish a system that allows development team and publishing teams to have a healthy discussion with global members based on marketability. They want to enhance an evaluation process, establish a team with the company that can objectively test and evaluate work in process. So they just want to have more testers to make sure these games are, reviewing well internally, because a lot of companies, for those of you that don't know, have mock reviews, and mock reviews are basically these test reviews where they have people play the game and actually review them internally. And so they probably want to just do more of that, get that feedback, and make sure these titles are getting better and better scores. In fact, when someone asks, guys, they care about review scores, someone asks, does this mean they have to have a set Metascore target internally? Midori says this is correct information, which this is awesome to hear that from now on. Obviously, it's probably something they've been doing for a while, but they really want to establish internally, hey, we need to be aiming for a specific score, whether it be from user Metascore, and we need to make sure we hit that internally before we release the game to the public, which this, again, just makes me happy. It just means they're looking for more quality control. There's a lot of big Sonic stuff we're about to talk about. Now, this is where we get into a lot of the fun stuff for Sonic here. So, medium-term management plan is further expansion of main pillars, the transmedia, the global games as a service, their pillars, their legacy IPs, and super game and animation IPs. Now, you might think, what does this have to do with Sonic? Well, we have this, right? And they want to expand. Basically, this over here means they want to expand the regions these games are being worked on. They want to have them in the transmedia thing, which means, games, movies, entertainment, and all that. And what they're doing with Sonic, according to Midori, is crazy. So right here, Midori is saying the new Sonic pillar is a team formed of Sega staff from all regions. Sega staff from multiple regions are now more directly involved in the development of Sonic titles. This is unannounced information. Let's fucking go. Again, big deal. This is all continuing over the fact that, one, after Frontiers, they already said that they're giving Sonic Team a bigger budget. Two, they were hiring. Three, now they have an entirely new pillar working for Sonic, making sure quality control is over, the Metacritic scores of the game, making sure they have more involvement in the work. I think that was a big deal, which was what happened with previous Sonic titles before Frontiers, is they were not paying attention really to who was working on these games that much. Now they have more hands-on involvement with all the projects, which I think is a really big deal, because even back then when you had games like your Sonic Riders or Sonic Rush or whatever, you had Sonic Team involved in some way to make sure, like, hey, is this in line with what we're trying to make here with Sonic? So not only do we have the confirmation that we're basically going to be getting yearly Sonic content, but we just know it's going to be better. And it makes sense, right? If you look at Sega's flow state right now, it makes a lot of sense what they're doing with Sonic. I mean, we have a mobile game coming up, we have a remaster coming up, and we have the movie coming up, right? And that gives enough time for next year, right, to have maybe another spin-off out, at least have the announcement of the next 3D Sonic game. Maybe the next 2D Sonic game could be ready. I feel like a 2D game can be much steadily made faster, or maybe it's a remake. Like, it just feels like there's going to be something possible for every year. Now, the big one to understand here is this. This is the full Sonic rundown. So, strategic transmedia expansion with focus on games and movies led to dramatic increase in the Sonic IP. So look at this. You could see the insane steady increase of Sonic ever since they've been going the movie route and transmedia route and everything, just having him ever. The first Sonic movie is around here. Second Sonic movie, Frontiers and Prime, in 2023 or 2022, but this is the fiscal year 2023 they call it. So this was massive, and you're seeing the numbers bleed into the years after. And obviously, we have their plans for 2024. So promote transmedia strategy towards the new movie and game plan to release at the end of the year under the theme Fearless Year of Shadow. So even within their internal documents, Year of Shadow is their marketing bit, fostering a sense of unity in the community under the theme of Shadow. I love the logo. And yeah, here's their project. So we have Sonic Shadow Generations, third movie, Sonic Rumble, and original TV series Knuckles. So I think these are the Sonic projects for this year. I'd be surprised if there was one in the can or one hidden or something. I do think these are the Sonic projects for the year, which I think is more than enough. You know, with the DLC with Sonic Dream Team we're still getting, with Sonic Rumble just announced, with Sonic Gens coming out, with the Year of Shadow marketing they're going to have, with the movie, with Knuckles show that just came out, I feel like for any franchise, that is more than enough. You know, even if it's not the next big 3D game or anything, like, it's still a big deal, especially with the Shadow content. That's going to be pretty big in the game. And then we have our further expansion of Pillars. So this is the new title they just announced, a title that aims to reach worldwide Sonic fan base that is expanded through movies, etc., with a casual mobile format. A collab project with Rovio, who has strong expertise in global mobile domains. So this is their first major project that works with Rovio for Sonic Rumble, and you can tell sort of, you know, how the game's going to be made. Everything, they're going to support it for a long time. And obviously there's even the Persona Phantom X game, and that's going, you know, to be launched worldwide, I think, at other moments. It says further expansion in Japan and global is under consideration. There's even Metaphor, which is coming out in October. It's going to be a massive new RPG from Atlas. And then you have obviously the Super Revival series that they've got going on. 5 titles that were announced at Game Awards. You got Crazy Taxi, Jet Set, you know, you got Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, and these are going to be pulling up later on. And those are the major slides. But yeah, like we said, I think the biggest things to note here are, one, we officially have, you know, the big 3 named by Sega: Sonic, Persona, Yakuza, and that they are going to be having games yearly, and also that, yeah, quality management is a main priority for the main Sega group, which is important, right? We've always been talking about how Sonic games are starting to be much better, but there needs to be a bit more quality management. You know, we don't not want these little bugs. We don't want these games to feel unfinished or done. I think they know now, all right, people are loving Sonic. They're selling well. Let's give this team some more budget and let's go crazy, which is why I have a lot of confidence in Sonic X Shadow Generations and whatever they're going to do in the future. I just think we are in such a good position. If you're a fan of Sonic or you're a fan of Sega or whatever, we are in just a really, really good position right now. And hearing about this just gets me excited because we're no longer going to ever have these content gaps. And in fact, I don't even think Sonic needs content gaps. Like I said, they have a healthy rotation of things between movies and shows and this and that they can continue to just have stuff every year. I mean, next year, like I said, it feels likely that we'll get another spin-off show. Feels like we'll probably get a spin-off game, maybe another remake or a remaster, and then the year later will probably be the next 2D game and all that. But it seems like they've got teams working at different places. We've got new divisions working on Sonic. It's so exciting to me how much we're about to get and how much we're eating. So guys, let me know what you all think. Are you excited for this? Let me know what's the most important thing you learned here, what you want to know. And of course, I love you. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.